Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to give everybody just a couple of minutes to get on. Sometimes it takes like 30 seconds for your computer to engage. So I'm going to just wait for a minute or two, let everybody get situated. This is in a webinar, and so you will not be able to unmute or anything like that, but we are so excited to be here today with you. So I'm just going to give another minute. Jody, you've been starting at 1 minute after the hour, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we will do the same.
Where's your hat, Jody?
My hat is off temporarily so my head can breathe.
Now, are we gonna be looking at this
Nope.
screen?
Yes, I'll control the slides. Yep. All right,
Okay.
well, we'll go ahead and get started. It is 2:01, and to not punish everybody who's prompt, we don't want to run late. So welcome to the annual meeting of the membership for the Mendish Parks, Inc. A couple of notes. If you haven't joined us yet for the sessions, this is a little different because it's in webinar, not in meeting. All attendees are in listen only mode. If you cannot hear, check the volume. Hopefully you can read this on your computer to assure that the sound is on and the volume is turned up. That's usually the issue. To ask questions, we will have a town hall later where we can address questions. Please enter them into the Q&A box, which is down on the black bar at the bottom of the screen. It says Q&A. If you click that, you can type it in, and we will be able to moderate those questions out to the executive committee during the town hall. This session is being recorded, and then we will have this available for everybody to see. And then roll call will be conducted by entering your name, city, state, and chapter into the chat box. So when you join, if you could please, starting now, put your name, city, state, and chapter in the chat box. You will be recorded for attending annual meeting for your chapter. And I am now going to turn it over to Ron to get us started.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ron Manriquez. I'm president and chairman of the board. How's everyone doing today? Well, as we start our meeting today, we're excited to give you this report on our organization. I'm so pleased to report in 2021, it was another fabulous year. And now I have the pleasure of calling to order our 2021 annual meeting. Do I hear a motion to call this meeting to order?
I move to call this meeting to order.
Second,
And now we need to launch our poll. All those in favor, click yes. And all those not in favor, click no to call this meeting to order.
Yeah, the poll was stopped a little prematurely, but you had nobody saying that. So
Okay, the next is our agenda for today.
I move to adopt the agenda.
I will second that adoption.
Okay, for adopting the agenda, launch the poll.
okay, people are voting. Thank you very much. Give them just another second and I'll end it and share the results for you, sir.
Okay, the poll has been launched and it was a yes for the agenda for today. The next are the standing committee rules. I open the floor and entertain a motion to approve the standing committee rules.
I move to adopt the standing rules.
I second that motion.
The poll will be launched. All those in favor of yes? And those that say are no.
Let everybody Answering now. I'll give just 5 more seconds.
Okay, the poll is launched and favorable of yes. The next motion is the adoption of the Committee of the House.
I move to adopt the Committee of the House.
Second that motion.
Launch the poll.
I've launched the poll for you. Everybody can answer yes or no.
And Committee of the House has been launched, overwhelmingly yes. That was our final voting. Everything is 100% yes.
Yes.
And has been approved. Okay, we finished our polling and for this portion of the meeting. The next portion of the meeting will be for Andrea Bear, who will give us our annual report.
Great, thank you. So in 2021, we had a fabulous year. We ended the year with over 74,000 members. We did celebrate our 70th anniversary in 2021 and astonishingly reached 4.2 million people on social media through all of our social media accounts, which was fabulous. We have members in all 50 states and in 20 countries now. We launched 4 new programs: Young Mended Hearts, Share Your Heart, My Heart Visit, and the Mended Hearts Action Network. And we'll do a brief overview of each of those new programs that we were able to launch in 2021. But first, our support program, while we were still in COVID times, most of the hospitals we were not able to access yet in 2021, we were still able to make over 46,000 support visits. We are still serving 380 plus hospitals. We have 696 accredited visitors. 32,000, everybody, over 32,000 of our visits were made virtually, which is fabulous. We were able to really embrace the virtual world. And then our Heart Pillows and Bravery Bags, we've had over 2,500 of each given out across the nation in 2021. Our support group meetings were still fabulous. We had 1,784 support group meetings. Most of those were on Zoom, but it was fabulous that you guys were able to continue to do that. 104 Facebook chats. So if you're following along, that's 2 hours each week through all 12 months of the year. We got together on Facebook and chatted with people to give them a little bit of extra support. We had 678 virtual visitors trained and 68 hours of Zoom training. Jody was like a rock star last year, training everybody on how to use Zoom and how to support other people on Zoom. And last year we had 152 leaders trained. Our one program that we launched, the My Heart Visit Welcome Home, we launched it and started it in Q4 of 2021. It was a 12-week pilot in hospitals in Connecticut, Florida, and Texas. We enrolled 44 registrants, 264 support calls were made, and over 400 emails were sent through this program, which is a 12-week program that provides support and education to patients who have heart failure and have been hospitalized, and this supports them as they transition back to life at home. Our virtual education was, we hosted 32 webinars and produced 18 videos on a variety of topics to raise awareness and to educate individuals virtually, since we are not able to be in person in a lot of areas. We had 4,385 patients and families attend our educational webinars, with an additional cumulative 21,600 views of those webinars on YouTube, which is fabulous. We publish a lot of enduring materials and they're available now on PDF on our website to print locally, or we also, some of these we have in our resource center where you can order them for your chapters. We distributed over 20,000 printed heart guides. We created our new Mended Heart Guide, which is available on digital right now and will be in the coming months will be printed. And then we also have a brand new library of discussion guides that we have produced, along with a decision tree and then our flagship 7 Steps to Becoming an Empowered Patient. We launched the Young Mended Hearts program, which is really the gateway between Mended Little Hearts and Mended Hearts. And the Young Mended Hearts program focuses on individuals who are between the ages, loosely, because nobody's going to deny you membership, of 18 to 55. And that is because that age population sometimes deals with a lot of different feelings and emotions and things like taking care of families and going back to work and different things like that. And so we were really excited to be able to launch this program specifically to meet the needs of those patients. And so we have a couple of chapters already, and we're looking to expand into all of the areas of the country, which is exciting. We launched the Share Your Heart program in 2021, and this program is designed to show others that they're not alone. And so we're highlighting stories through essays and pictures and coloring and all different ways to have individuals express themselves so that they can show how they share their heart. So we created the website. We had a photo contest, which was super fun, where people shared themselves, sharing their heart with others and talking about why they're engaged in raising awareness. The essay contest, we had 58 people enter the essay and poem contest. And there were different categories. It will be again this year, but some of them were just so fabulous. Actually, most of them were all fabulous. If you ever want to go and read the essays and poems, they're on this Share Your Heart website. And then we had a drawing contest because sometimes expressing yourself through art is also a fabulous way to share your heart. And so we had some kids that were sharing their heart and engaging, and that was fun. And we had 6,649 votes made through those 12 contest entries. We celebrated our 70th anniversary with a special edition of Heartbeat magazine. 20,000 of the magazine's hit homes in October of 2021. And as of the time at the end of December, we had 196 online magazine views from that magazine. And it's a really great magazine if you haven't had the time to look at it. So thank you, Ron. I'm going to turn it back over to you for the president's report. You're muted, Ron. If you could unmute, that'd be great.
Hello.
Here we
Just
go.
want to give you a brief on the president's report. In 2021 through 2023, the board of directors were sworn in for 2021. The executive committee met 12 times, and the executive committee is a committee that talks about issues and problems and the future of Mended Hearts before we go to the main board meeting. On that executive committee is me, of course, Denise Dutch-Wichkowski, executive vice president, Marvin Kaiser, vice president, Angel Olvera, Mended Little Hearts vice president, Al Voss, corporate secretary and treasurer. The board of directors met 12 times during 2021, and all meetings were with Zoom. And we have those that are listed here. You have Jennifer Angelone, RD Director, Bob Hoffman, Northeast Regional Director. You have Catherine Lobian, RD Southern Region Director, Marianne Mayhood, Mended Little Hearts Director, and RD Mid-Atlantic Region. Sherry McCoy, RD Midwest Region. Angela Manricus, Western Regional Director. Anna Olvera, RD Rocky Mountain Region, Mended Little Hearts. Nicole Sanchez, RD Western Region, Mended Little Hearts. Candida Shandell, RD Southwest Region, Mended Little Hearts. Amanda Stewart, RD Central Region, Mended Little Hearts. Ray Trapp, Rocky Mountain Regional Director. Mike Weber, Southern Regional Director. Robert Bray, appointed board member. And Lee Parker, appointed board member. The board developed 2022 priorities, reviewed and adjusted COVID-19 policies throughout the year, appointed a 2023 ad hoc conference committee, appointed an ad hoc committee on advocacy, appointed an ad hoc retirement review committee, and voted on policies and procedures to maintain proper governance of the organization. The board of directors provided financial insight and program oversight through metrics reports. And all the books were audited to specifications and all passed the accounting procedures. We had a wonderful staff. Some of you heard today and will continue to hear over the next several days. Andrea Baer, Executive Director and Director of Patient Advocacy. Jody Smith, National Program Director that you've heard on training and does a wonderful job on training. You've seen her this weekend. Mandy Sancooler, Field and Services Communicating Director, our person in the field. Lisa Goodman, Membership Specialist and Database Manager, and a lot of you that have called in have gotten Lisa. George Humes, Shipping and Inventory Specialist, and George will ship it to you and ship it to you on time. Christine Netgrass, Kay, we call her, staff accountant who gets the book straight, does it right, and will call you on the phone if you don't get it. Al Voss, Corporate Secretary, Treasurer. Leslie Brown, Executive Assistant, hired January 1st, 2022. She's kind of new with the organization, does a fine job. Celeste Hall, Administrative Assistant, also hired on March 1st, 2022. And Vicki Churchman, Accountant, hired March 1st, 2022 also. So that is my conclusion of the President's report. And we're going to go on to Marvin for the Vice President's report.
Unmute Marvin, so we can hear you. Can you get it? There you go.
Did I do that right?
Yep, you're good.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to present the Vice President Report, Amended Hearts Incorporated Reach of 2021, and we have 187 chapters for Mended Hearts. Mended Little Hearts had 49 groups and 1,131 chapters and group leaders. That's just an amazing number. This is the map of the United States showing all of the states in each region. There are 8 regions, if you notice. We also have Alaska, which is part of the Western region, and Puerto Rico, which is part of the Southern region. The regional directors for Mended Hearts Incorporated. The Central region, the Mended Hearts is vacant. Amanda Stewart is Mended Little Hearts. Mid-Atlantic region, Mended Hearts is vacant. Mary Ann Mayhood, Mended Little Hearts. Midwest region, vacant. Cherie McCoy, Mended Little Hearts. Northeast region, Robert Hoffman, Mended Hearts. Jennifer Angelone, Mended Little Hearts. Rocky Mountain region, Ray Trapp, Mended Hearts. Anna Olvera, Mended Little Hearts. Southern region, Mike Weber, Mended Hearts. Catherine Lobine, Mended Little Hearts. Southwest region is vacant, and Candida Shandell, Mended Little Hearts. And we have the Western region, which is Angela Manricus, Mended Hearts, and Nicole Sanchez for Mended Little Hearts. Mended Hearts chapters, 2021. The Central Region, there's 13. Mid-Atlantic, 30. Midwest Region, 19. Southern Region, 27. Rocky Mountain Region, 12. I'm sorry, that was the Northeast Region was 27. Rocky Mountain is 12. Southern Region, 42. Southwest Region, 9. And the Western Region, 35, which is a total of 187 active chapters. The new chapters in 2021, which is the greatest thing in the world to make new chapters. Chapter 496, Mended Hearts of Newton Satellite. Chapter 497, Mended Hearts of the Great Plains, Topeka, Kansas. Chapter 408, Mended Hearts of Puget Sound, Washington. Chapter 499, Mended Hearts of the Rio Grande Valley. Chapter 500, Mended Hearts of Montefiore, Nyack, New York. And chapter 502, Mended Hearts of Coral Spring, Florida Satellite. 6 news chapters in Florida and satellites. I get excited of Florida because that's where I'm from. Mended Hearts disbanded chapters in 2021. Chapter 51, Zanesville, Ohio. Chapter 87, Steubenville, Ohio. Chapter 230, Pontiac, Michigan. Chapter 344, Lowe's, First Town. Chapter 102, Elk Grove, Illinois. Chapter 275, Billings, Montana. Chapter 385, Little Rock, Arkansas. Chapter 405, Mended Hearts of Charlotte County. Chapter 243, Santa Maria. And chapter 406, Mended Hearts of the Mother Lode. 10 disbanded chapters. Thank you.
Thank you, Marvin. And now we're going to have the Mended Little Hearts Vice President, their report, Angel.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you great.
Yep. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Angel Valvera from Phoenix. I'm also the steering committee of MLH. There's our members of our steering committee there, along with our RDs. The RDs are on the top. The steering committee, I don't think we've introduced yet. On the bottom row, there's Ben Schindel, Shannon Pearsall, Julie Marshall, Heather Davey, Ashley Baxley, Liz Bloomfeld, and Fredonia Williams is our MH liaison between MH and MLH, who attends our meetings as well. Support activities, as you can see, the bravery bags continue to deliver those, even though it's a tough year with the not going into hospitals. We were able to still get 2,603 bravery bags out. As mentioned before, we have 49 local groups, courageous tokens, our angel boxes, toy chests and activity items, and our parent matches were still able to be consistent with getting those families connected with what they needed and getting those items out to the families as well. CHD Awareness Week, we still continue. Rock Your Scars, been a huge campaign for us and continues to be. 650 Rock Your Scar photos this year we got in, and our social media continues to get bigger and bigger every year with 1.1 million CHD awareness reach for the national this year. That continues to grow and grow, and social media seems to be that's the one that we've got right for Rock Your Scar for sure. Total votes come in. It's a lot of votes this year, 74,000 votes. So Rock Your Scar is really connecting with the community, and great work on all that for sharing that and getting that spread on social media. Exciting thing that's out there now is the neurodevelopmental resources that Mended Little Hearts has to offer with a new guide on that. I'm sure many of you know the mental health space has been growing and growing, and now we're excited to announce we have a heart guide, similar to our heart guide, but neurodevelopmental resource for that area now. So that's exciting news, and that's all we have from MLH right now. Look forward to a good year getting back in hospitals though.
Thank you, Angel. The next report is Al Voss, the Treasurer's Report.
Thank you, Ron. As you've heard several of my colleagues say, 2021 was the best year on record in MHI's history. We had an outstanding year. We exceeded the revenue budget. We spent less than the expense budget. We increased net assets. We increased our reserves. We increased programs and projects. We increased visiting. We opened Young Mended Hearts and 3 other project programs. We tremendously increased social media activities. We increased our advertising. We increased membership, and we expanded membership to 20 countries. As you see on screen, 85% of every dollar went directly into programs. This is exceptionally high for a U.S. nonprofit. It's the 3rd year in a row that we have been 85% or over. And I will tell you that just a few years ago when we were in Dallas, those numbers are running 52 to 54%. So we have absolutely putting our money into the mission, as you've heard Andrea and Jody talk about, and Mandy talk about this week. You'll see that we spent just under you can stay there, $1.7 million. This is a report we give the IRS. It was audited and the numbers stuck. So this is what the IRS wants to see from us, and we give them the exact dollar amount. Next slide, please. This is our expense and income by the month. And the big key here is you'll see that 22% of our expenses go to salaries, where another 6% go to benefits. This is actually an excellent number. We should be below 35%. We are, as corporations run. We maintain and manage our money exceptionally well, in my opinion, and we have all the reports, as you see, come out. The board receives over 30 financial reports each month, and plus the year-end reports. And then, of course, as Ron mentioned, we're audited. We're audited very strongly. We do follow GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles. And we have not been deemed in any year of anything that we are doing incorrectly. Next slide, please. The key that I tell the board is this graphic. Is our foundation, our financial foundation, increasing? If you notice at the left of the graph, it's June of 18, June 30th. And at the time, they weren't using the computer system, but we had no assets. We had no money. We were in debt, actually. And through the next 4 years, 3.5 years, you can see that we've had continual growth year to year. Now, some months we go down and some will go up, but overall, we want to see an increase. And I think you should be very proud of the staff and the leadership and all the way that we put into our money, but we have done well in saving our money, spending it correctly. So we ended 2021 with a net worth of just over $1.8 million from zero 3.5 years before. We had $600,000 in reserves, and 3.5 years ago, we had $2,000 in reserves. And we have no debt. We ended 2021 with no debt. We owed no one, long-term or short-term, and we've actually keep that going every month. I believe we've shown success in every financial field. I'm very, very pleased to think that. If you have any questions regarding our finances, just feel free to write me or call me. And for those who know me, we're very transparent. We'll tell you everything. It's your organization. We just manage the money that comes into it. Ron, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Al. The next report we have is Andrea Bear for advocacy.
Thank you, Ron. So I'll do the executive director report first. And just briefly, I know we've been talking about this the last couple of days, but our mission is to inspire hope and improve the quality of life of our patients and their families through ongoing peer-to-peer support, education, and advocacy. And our vision is to be the premier nationwide resource and peer-to-peer support network for all patients and families affected by heart disease across the lifespan. And we have 3 statements for our 3 pillars that we run here at Mended Hearts. The education statement, which is to provide patient and caregiver educational information while covering a wide variety of life experiences across the lifespan. Our support statement is to support heart patients and their families by creating an inclusive and compassionate community through meaningful connections so no one feels alone. And our advocacy statement, which is to energize and engage heart patients and their families through advocacy, enabling them to make informed decisions that improve their quality of life. The executive committee and the board of directors revisits these statements each year, and they have not changed over the last 2 years, but they revisit them every year to make sure that we are being true to our mission and vision, and all of our programs and activities fall underneath those statements. And our values are RICH, which is respect, integrity, compassion, and hope. We have added to our nonprofit excellence in 2021. You'll see them all here on the screen. We are now a member of the World Heart Federation, of the Israeli Heart Association. We've added the associate membership to the Mental Health America. And we have been a top rated nonprofit with the Great Nonprofit since 2019. And we have our Gold Star Transparency from GuideStar. And so we continue to excel and raise the bar for what we're doing with our programs and meeting the needs of our patients across the world now, not just in America. Our Heartbeat magazine won an award, which is in 2021 was the Award of Distinction. And this is from the Communicator Awards. And I was told that the Communicator Awards are very big awards in the publishing sector. So we were very excited that the Heartbeat magazine won that award. The board of directors also meets every October to make sure that they have the strategic goals aligned for the following year. For 2021, since we're reporting on 2021, the 2022 strategic goals were set in 2021. And for this year, they are to expand reach, build holistic programs, make sure we're building awareness, recruit advocates, foster fundraising, and increase diversity. So we're hoping that all of our programs and align with those goals this year as we work towards a great 2022 as well. So I'll give the quick advocacy report now. Mended Hearts launched the Action Network in 2021. This is a program where we're bringing heart patients and families together to work to push for better healthcare for all of us. And the way we're doing that is building evidence for peer support. We know that peer support is vital and it improves outcomes. We need to make sure that we have the data to prove that. And we're working on building research and programs so that we can prove that to the people that at Medicare and CMS, so that we can hopefully get more hospitals on board with wanting a Mended Hearts or Mended Little Hearts, Young Mended Hearts chapter in their hospital. We want to increase patient engagement at the FDA and CMS. Those decision-making bodies at the FDA and CMS, they need to hear from the patient. And so we're trying to bring the patient voice into those arenas and working to engage patients with that. The centralized reporting for pulse ox screenings and also open access are the other top priorities for the organization as a whole. So when we launched the network in 2021, it was mostly spent creating and developing the program. We got our first sponsor contracts with them in November of 2022, or 2021. So it was very late in the year that we were able to secure our first sponsors. We developed the program and worked with Kira Strategies. And then we did all kinds of really great things about recruiting champions. If you're not an Action Network champion and you want to be, you should definitely do it. And so we worked that. That's what we worked on in 2021. But we also did a couple of things with the Action Network itself, and talking to drafting letters and engaging advocates regarding different things about open access and appropriations and things like that. And then we engaged once with the FDA, initiating grassroots advocacy regarding a single ventricle medication for children that were born with a single ventricle. So we are still working on ramping this program up, and in 2022, it's going to be fabulous, I think. So thank you, Ron. I am finished.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Next, we have 6 standing committee reports, and each one will present those. The first one is Medical Advisory Council, and that will be Mandy.
Thank you, Ron. So our Medical Advisory Council met 4 times last year. They are an excellent group of professionals. We have a number of different experts in different areas. I think the staff came away from all 4 calls with some ideas that we could work on, things that we could kind of track down, things that would make the Mended Hearts Inc. a better organization. And we really appreciate all their time and efforts. They were especially helpful giving us feedback for the Mended Heart Guide that came out last year on the Heart Failure Welcome Home program as well. Dr. Desai has always been very helpful, and for Heartbeat magazine articles and things like that. So our thanks to the council.
Thank you, Mandy. The next report is from Jody. It's a Medical Advisory Board. Jody?
Thank you, Ron. We have also a wonderful Mended Little Hearts Medical Advisory Board, and these are specialist healthcare professionals who help us specifically with the Mended Little Hearts program. And we meet bi-monthly. Well, we met bi-monthly in 2021. And one of the big things that came out of that is the COVID and CVD pediatric discussion guide. So there's an adult version and the pediatric version, and they helped review that and make sure the information in there was accurate. It was accurate at the time, that information changes so fast, but they helped us with that. We also added 1 new member last year, and that's Dr. Ryan Moore of Children's Hospital of Cincinnati. He has been a wonderful asset. Many of us have heard him speak at CHD Symposium over the years. We also had a conversations with webinar series, and we did a couple of conversations with. We did the first one with Surgeon Eve Dudicum, and he is with Children's National Hospital. We hosted one with the Adult Congenital Heart Association and a cardiac dietitian from Cincinnati Children's Hospital as well. And these were very well attended and very successful events. We also had our Medical Advisory Board members review our clinical trials decision tree, and they developed criteria for sharing studies with members. We get many, many, many requests, surprisingly high numbers of requests for students and researchers who want us to share their study and enroll our members and everything. And if we said yes to every one of them, we'd be bugging people about enrolling in something, twice a week. And so we developed criteria with the help of them to determine which studies and research projects we would share and which don't meet our standards, which was really important and helped the program immensely. We also worked on different resources for transitioning from hospital to home for families with children in the hospital, especially infants, and we're continuing that in 2022. So that is my report, and thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Jody. The next report we have is the Corporate Advisory Council. Andrea?
Thank you. So our Corporate Advisory Council is consists of representatives from all of the different corporate partners that we have. Each corporate partner has a member who sits on the Corporate Advisory Council, and they advise the organization on strategic and advocacy priorities. And they also help give feedback and kind of share in creating programs to reach our objectives. So we met 5 times in 2021, and we typically spend that hour. We'll update them, and then we spend a little bit of open time discussing what's new. They sometimes know what's coming down in the horizon in terms of treatments and different things, and we try to create better programs because of their partnership, and we are so very thankful for them. This past year, they helped us with the Welcome Home program and also with the Action Network, very intimately involved in building and constructing those programs so that they are really meeting the needs of the patient. So you will see them on your screen. Those are who were corporate advisory councils in 2021. And every year it changes just a little, but most of everybody stay around because they're longtime partners of the organization. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Andrea. The next report we have is the steering committee report. Angel.
Thank you, Ron. So our Mended Little Hearts Steering Committee is providing direction, planning, and creation of Mended Little Hearts programs. Jody and Mandy are the staff support, along with the steering committee members and the RDs listed below there. Committee members are there, you can see in the middle. Liz Bloomfield, Cherie McCoy, Amanda Stewart, Marianne Mayhood, Nicole Sanchez, Candida Schindel, Catherine Lobine, Jen Angelone, Anna Olvera, Julie Marshall, Heather Davey, Ashley Blacksley, Shannon Pearsall, and then Schindel, Fredonia Williams as well. These are the activities below that we worked on. The steering committee met 12 times in 2021, provided input on Rock Your Scar, Share Your Heart, essay contest as well, leadership training ideas for 2021, conversation with webinar series that were created for 2021, 2021 awards, created the world of support input and speaker training, Rock Your Scar, Wave of Light, and ideas for the High Five new 5 for 5 Heroes fundraiser that's out. And the committee continues to meet and always focus on programs to move forward with MLH. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Angel. The next report we have is a nominating committee report. Denise.
Thank you, Ron. You can see listed the members, myself, Kathy Boyd David, Candida Schendel, and Ray Trapp, and I want to thank them for all their time that they put into this year after year. This past year, the committee reviewed candidate resumes and interviewed candidates for the MHI appointed board of directors positions, and 3 candidates were recommended by the committee and approved by the board of directors for appointment as members of the MHI board of directors for the 2021-2023 term. And are you okay, Ron, if I go right into election committee?
Election committee, Denise.
Thank you. Okay. Committee members are myself, Kathy Boyd David, Candida Schendel, and Ray Trapp. And again, once again, thank you to them for all their time and efforts that they put in to this. The activities for 2021 was basically confirming the winners of our election and communicating the results to the candidates, board of directors, Mandy, our field services manager, to make sure that everything was communicated to the MHI membership. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Denise. The next report we have is a bylaws committee report. Al Voss.
Thank you, Ron. The bylaws committee is a standing committee of MHI as per the bylaws. And the bylaws committee will review any recommendations for revisions to the bylaws that are given by membership or officers or whoever. In 2021, we received no recommendations for revisions. Therefore, the bylaws committee did not meet. Although I want to thank Jody and Denise and Kathy Boyd, who resigned last year, and Liz Blumenfeld for staying on the committee to be prepared for any revisions that were given to us. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much. Now, the next portion is Town Hall, and Al is going to lead that discussion. Al?
Well, actually, I'm going to turn this over to Andrea, and I am just the bylaws keeper if there's questions on it, and acting as a parliamentarian. So Andrea?
Great, thank you. So we are a little early, so we do have time for, well, we're a lot early. We tried to keep it short and sweet this year for you. Maybe we just did too short. But anyways, if you have questions, please type them into the Q&A box and we will get them out to the executive committee, or anybody who has a standing committee that you might have a question about can answer them. If you've heard anything today on the reports that you would like clarification on, or you have any questions, I did see that there was a question about what was Cura in the chat, and I'll answer that in the chat. But if anybody has any other questions about them, please let us know. I don't see anything now. So while people are thinking about it, I would like to yield back to any of the executive committee. If you have anything that maybe wasn't covered in their annual reports that you'd like to share with the membership, please feel free to do so. Al, do you have anything? You're muted.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so there is a question that just came in. Al, if you, or something, probably Al, is there any effort to get closer to the American Heart Association?
No. Yes and no. Yes and no. We are, and as Andrea can tell you without going into detail, we are working with them on a couple of programs to get involved a little bit. It is sticking our toe in water, or baby steps, whatever you'd like to call it. Yesterday, I discussed I had a question about AHA, and in 2010, when Mended Heart split off from AHA, there was a very restrictive contract issue. It's a perpetual contract. There is no end date. And we are prohibited from doing a lot of things with AHA. And I say we, MHI, from the 2010 contract. We are starting to work with them some, but it is not going to be a relationship like Mended Hearts, the corporation had 12 years ago and before.
Yeah, and we do have, we are actually this year, when Al said we work with them in some capacities, we are working on the Welcome Home program. They implement HF in hospital sites around the nation, and they have asked to partner with us, that we are working with them to offer the Welcome Home program to all of the implement HF sites, hospital sites around the nation. So it's very good and exciting that they are working with us to get our name out into the hospitals and offering our services to the hospitals that they're working with. So that is one thing that we are doing very well with them. Denise, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm fine. Thanks, Andrea.
Sure. Marvin, anything from you?
Andrea, there's another question in the box.
Yep, I just saw it. Come on.
Actually,
It says, the question is there any listing of our longest term members that gives us a way to annually recognize them? Maybe Mandy could answer that question with or Lisa maybe on database.
So is there any listing of our longest term members? I don't know. Lisa probably would be the best person to see if there's a list that we can pull of that. Lisa's really good at pulling those lists.
Yeah, we do have a database that I can pull from. Anyone that wants to know the longest member in their chapter, all they have to do is shoot me an email. If it's an RD or an ARD, I could share the overall information. And then we would have to get together on who we're allowed to share with or how we want to announce that.
And Lisa and Kay and everyone, your live reporting shows the date that the people joined Mended Hearts, that your members joined. And even if they didn't renew, I mean, if they haven't been with Mended Hearts in 5 years, you don't see their name, but anything within 5 years, you can tell what day they joined. If Kay, you're asking for like a national recognition, that's an idea. I'll ask you to send us an email and suggest it so that we can put it in our task and look at it, that we can do that at the 2023 conference in Albany.
Yeah, and Kay just said she was actually thinking nationally. So maybe that's a great idea that we could keep down for the conference. It's a great idea. There is a question that says, what is our relationship with ACC? So the American College of Cardiology is a membership organization for providers mostly. So it's the doctors and the surgeons and everybody that work provides the care for all of the patients. We also work with them in a variety of different ways. They're a great partnering organization. And we're on a couple of different advocacy types of programs with them. And we work to sometimes find patients for them for education and different things like that. So both AHA and ACC are partners that we work together in the space and partner together when the opportunities come up. All right, any other questions? Okay, Angel, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Nope.
Okay, Marvin, anything that you want to add? Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, we must have done a really good job, guys, of telling everybody about everything because nobody has questions. That's a good thing. Ron, I will turn it over to you then.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for those wonderful presentations. I really enjoyed it. And thank you, everyone, for coming today. I really hope you're attending the leadership meetings that we have today. It's been fabulous. I've enjoyed every minute of it and also enjoyed the excellent training that's come through. I want to give a big hand clap for the staff for doing such a wonderful job, for the training we've had this weekend and the next days to come. I'm very thankful for them and they work really, really hard. And I do believe there's some recognition for them coming up. Also want to clap for the board for year-long, going through the issues, getting things solved, doing the objectives for the year and the following year. I want to give them a hand clap too. Thank you, everyone. As you have heard today, the Mended Hearts Inc. has done well this year. I'm so proud of the members, the staff, the board, that we successfully did the big pivot to Zoom with COVID the last couple of years, which was really challenging. Chapters and groups have managed to pivot to Zoom meetings across the nation, inviting others that cannot meet in person, inviting to their Zoom, and continually moving forward. As was said during the leadership training, staying connected. I believe that our peer prepare support group model is even stronger than ever, and you can see the evidence as we move forward. I've attended numerous webinar meetings. Members are still sharing their feelings before and after their surgeries, sharing their feelings and how they're doing. And I myself have been able to share my personal journey over the last couple of years and my heart journey. We talked about feelings during the training, and I'm sure we're going to do more of that in the next couple of days. Mended Hearts, you ought to be proud of, has got 86,000 members in over 20 countries internationally. So we're still moving forward despite COVID. I would like everyone to be encouraged to stay in contact with your hospitals, be ready to start your visiting programs again. And you can return to the video from Denzel Washington. It says, make a daily plan, make a weekly plan, and make a monthly plan. As you move forward with your chapters and groups and in Mended Hearts, and continue to reach out. Mended Hearts Incorporated has many challenges for the future. As we have heard before, there's over 5,000 cardiac hospitals in the nation. And Mended Hearts only in presence of maybe 380 hospitals. So the going says, let's reach out. Let's reach out and let's move forward. We all have the heart for Mended Hearts. I feel strongly in leadership training. Out of this training, many leaders will be formed. Out of this, we will glean leaders for the future. So don't take leadership training lightly. We will look for future leaders. Mended Hearts Incorporated needs future leaders. And one day, if you get tapped on the shoulder, say yes. Although our challenges lie before us, I am confident we will overcome our challenges. Champions will be created. Advocates will be created for the Mended Hearts Incorporated. We will meet these challenges with the best peer-to-peer support group in the world. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for attending the leadership meeting. And now we're ready to close. Can I have a motion?
I move to adjourn.
And we need a second.
Second,
All right.
And Andrea, can you land the poll?
And so if everybody just wants to type yes in the chat box, we don't need to go back through and read anything. We can go to the yes in the chat box. Everybody's saying yes to adjourn.
Thank you so much. God bless you all, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you. See you all at 6 for the awards show.